Hey everyone, this is the new LEGO BrickHeadz Wednesday and Enid set. It is a very interesting set to get because it's one of the very first sets in the Wednesday wave. It came out on October 1st, and I'm going to build both Wednesday and Enid without the instructions. Let's get started. So in this set we got 4 numbered bags, numbered from 1 to 4. It's kind of obvious just from the colors what each bag is going to end up building. And if we take a closer look at the box, we'll see that here are the real-life counterparts of the LEGO BrickHeadz models. You can see here that they're quite accurate to the source material with, of course, the necessary simplifications. And I'll just give a crash course to Wednesday in case you've never watched it before. I've only watched a few episodes, I don't know the whole story, but basically it's a scary tale of this girl right here named Wednesday, who goes to a school for, they call them outcasts, people who have various mysterious or magical powers. This is, by the way, a werewolf, and Wednesday has psychic visions, so that's a very nice combination right there. Wednesday is the calm person who hides her emotions, and Enid is the exact opposite. So basically, Wednesday goes to this school, there's a bunch of murderers, there's a mystery, there's a monster. It's the perfect thing to watch for Halloween. Maybe not for the 10 plus that this set is targeted towards. The show itself is 14 plus, I believe. So I don't know why they put a 10 plus rating on these particular BrickHeadz. I have seen BrickHeadz with higher age ratings. But regardless of that, the models themselves can be built by 10-year-olds. So that at least is good. So speaking of the builds, I'm going to start building with bag 1. There are 2 instruction booklets included in the set in case you want to build this either alone or with a partner. One of you could build one character and the other builds the other character. So it's nice that LEGO did this. There is no QR code to scan for points because these are BrickHeadz, and BrickHeadz usually don't have those QR codes for whatever reason, but you can provide feedback to LEGO if you scan this other QR code right here, but you will not get any points for that, although you might win a cool LEGO prize. So yeah, I will not be using the instructions. I will only be using the stuff that I can see on the box, the building phase, and the 3D view that is made available by LEGO. Alright, let's get started. The dress used for Wednesday is printed on this brick right here. I thought it would be a tile, but it's actually a brick, and I believe this is an exclusive print. All the other parts are stuff that we've already seen before. Bag 1 builds most of Wednesday's body, except for her face, and we get to see her brains. She might like that, actually, based on her personality. And I like the use of just this plate here to represent the skin that would be visible from the top of the dress, and same thing at the back. That's some nice attention to detail right there. And of course, this is a nice print. I do wish that they made these colors, these studs not on top colors, in dark red or something like that, so that you could leave it exposed like this as some kind of frightening piece for Halloween, but maybe that's too scary for the target age range of 10 years. Bag 2 finishes up the head, basically covering it up, as well as giving us the stand. So now Wednesday is done, and we better build Enid quickly because Wednesday does not like to be kept waiting. Bag 3 builds most of Enid, including this very colorful dress that I like, and part of the face, in addition to the head, and pink brain as usual. Bag 4 gives us this stand right here, as well as finishing up the build for Enid, specifically her hair, like all the back of her hair. I do have these extra pieces, I don't know where they go because I think I filled this up very well, but I might be missing one layer here at the top or at the back because this is all completed. I did not leave any hollow spaces, or maybe these are just unintentional extras, but it feels to me like there's too many pieces, other than these 4 tiny pieces, for all of these to be extras. Oh well, I think this is very, very close to what we see on the box at the very least. So taking a look at the 2 roommates together, they look really nice together, and I like that they even captured details like the skin tone being slightly different between the 2 actors. As you can see here, very similar but not the same. And luckily LEGO has multiple colors that they could use for this purpose. So here they're using the light nougat versus here they're using the regular nougat. And you can always look up this information by checking the part list at the back of the instructions. If you're unsure about a certain LEGO color, just punch in the particular number of the piece, for example here, 6480361, into lego.com or Bricklink, and it will tell you the color of the piece. The Enid figure basically what you see is what you get here. I like the colors of the dress. You see the same trick here used for the neck just by using this one piece at the front. Here we're not using it at the back because of the different design. I like the colors of the hair that are used. Of course, the actual character has a much more nuanced color variation, like when she dyes her hair, but that's pretty much impossible to capture with LEGO, except for maybe the Izzy minifigure from LEGO Dreams. But I think this is a fine enough compromise where you have like a little bit of pink, a little bit of blue, and what is otherwise cool yellow hair. So this light blonde is known as cool yellow in the LEGO community. And yeah, I wish these studs were not here. On the other hand, these studs are the thing that make LEGO what it is. These studs here I don't mind, but here at the front I wish that there was this piece, but like as a tile instead of as a plate. I think that would have improved the look here at the front. Other than that, it's a pretty good figure to get. The Wednesday figure, I already talked a little bit about her earlier when I built her, but again, nice printed piece here at the front. I like the use of the dark bluish gray piece here used as eyeliner, because if you pay close attention, the actual character does use some dark eyeliner around her eyes, so that has been captured here, and that's nice to see. Her braids have been captured using these pieces right here, so that's a nice stylistic representation, especially given the scale and the medium. So in BrickHeadz, you're basically brickifying everything, so this is totally fine, even though it's not... If you don't know the source material, you might not recognize these to be braids, but if you do, especially if LEGO includes a picture right here for you, then you can kind of link these braids with these braids. So that's pretty cool. And I like the way they captured the bangs here just by using these pieces from LEGO Dots. Very simple, very effective. And yeah, let's have a final look at these minifigures from all angles. Wednesday is completely symmetrical, this side and this side. Enid is almost symmetrical, it's just that the colors are swapped around, where there's pink, there's blue, and vice versa. Other than that, very symmetrical, at least the way I built it, based on what I could see from the 3D view that LEGO offers, as well as the final building phase. Now Enid is BrickHeadz 252, and Wednesday is 253, and the Fortnite Bright Bomber is 254, so we have 3 BrickHeadz in a row as part of the series. As a reminder, for those who don't know, there is the LEGO set number, but BrickHeadz also have a BrickHeadz number, just to tell you where they fit in the series of BrickHeadz that started, I believe, in 2017 or 2018, something like that. So since that year, LEGO would release a few BrickHeadz each year, starting with BrickHeadz number 1, number 2, and now we're at 254. So let's take a look at these ladies closer together. Spin around on the side. I like the ponytail for this one. This one is also a little bit taller than them. I don't know why that is, but that is an interesting design decision that they did. And here's a size comparison of these two BrickHeadz with the Iron Man BrickHeadz that I built and reviewed earlier this year. So all of these are pretty much the scale of each other, and this one is a little bit larger just because of the larger hair. So here the hair is a lot larger than on these two, which is an interesting choice. So yeah, that's what they look like. And I do like how they fit in a series. Like you could have hundreds and hundreds of these all displayed right next to each other. Of course, you have to like space them apart by at least one stud because of the hands. That's okay. And you could actually take these off from these stands and put them onto your own custom stand. That makes more sense instead of displaying them individually. So you could just make a shelf with all of your favorite characters from LEGO BrickHeadz and have that as a display piece. Because in the end, these are display items. Yes, you can kind of play with them if you really want to, and you say, like, move them around and play with them like dolls, but they're really meant more for display. Even 10-year-olds, I don't think they're going to want to play with these too much because they don't have any articulation, they don't have any play features. It's much more about the display value. And here's a size comparison of the minifigure, just to give another idea for the context of how large these BrickHeadz are. So in terms of building experience without the instructions, Wednesday is definitely a lot easier to build. She's monochrome, which means if you make any small mistakes, they're going to be hidden much better than with Enid, who has all these colors that you need to pay attention to. And I just think that her build and design is a lot simpler, just because of the nature of the character in real life. Enid, on the other hand, has lots of fancy colors over here. You need to get them in the right order, and her hair is a lot messier. There's a lot more going on, and you need to pay closer attention to get the angles and the pieces just right. That's not a bad thing, so this one's a little bit more challenging to build without the instructions, but both are perfectly reasonable as BrickHeadz. Nothing special here, no unusual techniques. Of course, there's lots of studs on the side using the standard pieces that we all know and love, and we can see these easily by removing, like, probably this side is the easiest to remove, or maybe in the case of Wednesday, yeah, just removing her whole face, which is something that she would probably do to someone in the show. And yeah, we use a lot of these studs on the side pieces, but other than that, the building techniques used here are simple, and that's good enough. Not everything needs to be like an extravaganza of complicated building techniques that LEGO designers discovered 5 weeks ago. So yeah, build experience is good for both. It's nice and simple. So as builds and as isolated characters, you could say that this is a 10+ set. But if you do consider the source material of the Wednesday show on Netflix, I do not think that this is necessarily a show for 10-year-olds. And if you're a parent, you're going to have to make decisions on whether you want your kid to be watching this show, because it does depict scenes of violence and murder and things of that nature. So, and even the official recommendation on Netflix is that this is a 14+ show. So do keep that in mind if you are going to get this for a kid who is 10+. As for price and value, this set costs $20 US, 25 Canadian for 2 BrickHeadz characters plus their stands. This has been the usual price for quite a while now. And so I think what this means is that these sets were maybe slightly overpriced in the past, and LEGO realized that and like, okay, we cannot yet justify adding another $5 to the price, because that will kick it too far from the price per piece ratio, so let's just keep it as it is. And they're probably making enough money from these where they don't feel like they need to increase the prices, at least right now. And I hope they do keep this price point, because I feel like $10 for this thing, US $10 for this is reasonable. Of course, I would like to pay less and at some point the set will go on discount before it retires. So if you can get it on discount, even better. But $10 for this is not a ripoff, especially when you think that a standard LEGO minifigure would be anywhere between $3 to $5, depending on the specific figure and the accessories that it has. Of course, the minifigure is more expensive because it has articulation all over the place, and it also has really nice printing. So that's why minifigures are more expensive, and just because LEGO knows it, they can get away with charging more for minifigures. But if you tell me that this is worth $3 or $4, and you tell me this is worth $10, then I'd say, yeah, that kind of makes sense. And as a parts pack, I think this set, of course, it's not going to have a million parts, but the parts that are included here are useful. This part here is a bit specialized. I don't think you can use it in lots of contexts, but I could see this being used as curtains or other items in some kind of home. This printed piece right here, it doesn't need to be a dress, but it's designed to be a dress. All the other parts of the set, they're fairly generic, and they could be used in other applications if you want them. So as a parts pack, I'd say it's not the best parts pack, but it could serve a purpose if you want to have like some additional parts. If you're really tired of these figures, you want to build them into something else later. A lot of these parts are useful. There aren't a lot of specialized pieces that cannot be used elsewhere. So it's a decent parts pack, especially if you get it at a 40% discount. So yeah, that sums up my thoughts on this set. And it's the very first LEGO Wednesday set that I reviewed. So we did not get any advertisements for other Wednesday sets in the instruction manuals. But regardless, there are other LEGO Wednesday sets that have been released, and some of them use mini dolls, some of them have like a buildable Wednesday, like just as a big buildable character. So are you interested in any of these? You want me to buy and build any of these without the instructions? If I see significant support in the comments down below, I might consider it. So yeah, that sums up my thoughts on these two. Thank you so much for tuning in to Versatile Fun Designs, and I'll see you all in the next one.